Are we even gonna get a chance?
I've been on this list for 3 years.
If you're waiting for the Toronto condo market to bottom before you buy, you're solving the wrong problem. The price question is not the only question that matters. The supply question is. And the supply question has already been answered. Before I show you anything specific, I want to walk you through what's actually happening in the market right now, because I think most of what you're reading in the headlines is missing the bigger story. Everyone knows prices are down, everyone knows sales are slow. That's the easy part. The harder question, and the one that actually matters if you're thinking about deploying capital, is this. What does the supply side looks like 3, 4, 5 years from now? Because that's what determines whether buying today is a mistake or the best entry point of the decade. So let me walk you through the numbers, and then I want to tell you what I think those numbers mean. Right now, the Greater Toronto Hamilton area new condo market is in the 5th year of its largest correction on record. Q1 2026 just printed 246 new condo sales across the entire region. The 10-year average for Q1 is just over 4,000. So we're running at roughly 6% of normal absorption. Standing inventory, meaning completed and unsold units, hit a record 4,295 units in Q1. That's 92 months of supply at the current sales pace. Almost 8 years. Prices have come down accordingly. So yes, the market is soft and there is still inventory to work through. But here's the part nobody's paying attention to. While the market has been hesitant with absorbing the completed inventory, something else has been happening underneath it. The pipeline that feeds future supply has collapsed. In Q1 2026, for the first time in at least 30 years, 0 new condo projects launched in the Greater Toronto Hamilton area. Not one. The previous low was historic. 0 is something the market has never recorded. Construction starts in 2024 dropped 50% to a 25-year low. They fell further in 2025. 28 active projects representing more than 7,200 units were cancelled outright in 2025. More than double the previous record. Now look at what that does to completions. 2025 completed 29,000 units. 2026 is projected at roughly 22,000 units. 2027 falls to 14,000 units. And by 2029, Urbanation is forecasting that there will be effectively almost no new condo completions in the Greater Toronto Hamilton area. The supply we are absorbing right now, the inventory that's making prices soft, is the last wave of a building cycle that started 5 years ago. There is nothing meaningful behind it. The pipeline is empty. So here's what that sets up. Right now, prices are sitting near the lowest point of the market cycle, where developers are offering incentives we haven't seen in 15 years, and where the supply that finishes 3 to 4 years from now is going to be a fraction of what's coming online today. Toronto population is still growing. Rental demand is projected to outpace rental supply by 121,000 units over the next decade. The fundamentals that made this region a real estate story haven't changed. What's changed is the supply side, and it has changed in one direction. If you buy resale today, that's something that's already built. You're buying into the soft market and you own it immediately. That has its own logic. But if you buy pre-construction today with the 2029 and 2030 delivery, you're doing something different. You're locking in 2026 pricing with 2026 incentives on a unit that delivers into a market where new completions have effectively gone to 0. That's the opportunity. Prices are low today, but future supply is disappearing. The buildings being delivered into 2029 and 2030 had to start construction in 2025 and 2026. Most of them didn't. If you're considering pre-construction in today's market, choosing the right projects matters more than ever. Today, only one project is meeting my criteria, and that's where I'm currently guiding my investor clients. And I'm not naming the project in this video on purpose. If you want to see what I'm actually looking at, the floor plans, the pricing, the developer, the master plan, DM me the word investor and I'll send you the package. Now back to the numbers. And this is the most important part. Not every pre-construction project survives this cycle. We've seen that. The question is, which project is good to invest in? And that comes down to four things. The strength of the developer's balance sheet, the scale of the master plan, the infrastructure surrounding it, and whether the end user demand exists independent of investor demand. So that's the picture. 0 launches in Q1, standing inventory at a record, completions effectively going to almost 0 by 2029. More people will need housing, but the pipeline of new condo supply has almost stopped. And as I said, I'm not going to name the project I'm working on in this video, for two reasons. First, because if you don't believe in the supply math they just explained, the project doesn't matter. Second, because the right people for this opportunity are the ones who take the time to ask questions. If you want to see the actual opportunity, the video walkthrough, floor plans, pricing, developer, master plan, and my view on the entry point, send me a DM with the word investor. And if you disagree with the math, that's fair too. Tell me where you think I'm wrong. I read every reply. Either way, investor in the DMs is the next step. Ciao.